Wow, what it do, man? It's your boy D1. I only got 15 seconds, so I'm gonna tell you this. You're now tuned in to the hottest new show at Southern on the yard. You hear me?
The band sings, and the band sings, and the band sings, and the band sings. Get 'em. Ain't nobody messing with the Southern Jaguars. Nope. Ain't nobody messing with the Southern Jaguars. Nah. Ain't nobody messing with the Southern Jaguars. Them Jaguars go hard. Them Jaguars go hard. Hey. Ain't nobody messing with the Southern Jaguars. Nope. Ain't nobody messing with the Southern Jaguars. Nah.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome back for another exciting episode of On the Yard. As always, I'm your host, Perry White. Here in Louisiana, it is election year. Let's take a look at both candidates as they run for governor of the state of Louisiana.
I'm proud to have been a legislator over the last 8 years who've always stood up for a Southern University system, the only HBCU system in the nation. I think that's something to be proud of, and so I've always tried to strengthen the system as opposed to weaken it through all of these budget cuts year after year after year. Also know that we have to make sure that kids aren't priced out of the market when it comes to higher education, and we can't keep raising tuition. This fall, when kids go to school here at Southern or elsewhere in the state, they're going to pay 90% more in tuition than they paid in 2008 when Bobby Jindal became governor. That's a disaster for our state, and it's something we cannot afford. That's why I'm running for governor. I'm committed to higher education, strengthening those institutions because they afford people opportunity for a better life, opportunity to live the American dream right here in Louisiana for our kids and for our grandkids. That's why I'm running for governor. There's so much more we can do if we will just restore common sense and compassion to the governor's office and have a governor who wakes up every day worried about the people of Louisiana and who wakes up in the state of Louisiana. That's what I'm going to do, and that's why I'm proud to be here today with my friends at the Southern University.
As governor, I'm certainly going to focus on higher ed. We're going to stop death by 1,000 cuts, stabilize higher ed as we stabilize the budget. Also, economic development, including for the minority community and small businesses around Louisiana, and transportation. That's absolutely critical also for growth and economic development in Greater Baton Rouge. So those are some of the key items in my positive agenda that I'll be highlighting tonight. But it's great to be here at Southern.
Students, faculty, and alum, be sure to go out and exercise your right to vote in this upcoming election season. Next, we're going to take a look at the Jaguar Journal. The Jaguar Journal is a radio show here broadcasted on ESPN Radio 104.5, highlighting all the Southern University's athletics. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Reggie Flood. Welcome to the Jaguar Journal. The Journal is a show about Southern University athletics. That's what we do. That's what we talk about 24/7. We're excited to have you guys here. We're on 104.5 ESPN. Tune in if you ever get a chance. You can always listen on the internet. Remember, it's the Jaguar Journal. It's me, Reggie Flood, and my man, Perry White.
But the guy that I was most impressed with the entire weekend was Leonard Tillery. This guy, over the past couple weeks is really coming to himself. He's about to eclipse the 1,000-yard mark. He's on the verge of possibly maybe being one of the all-time greats as far as a running back.
The all-time leading rusher. I think he needs 85 yards, 87 yards to become Southern's all-time leading rusher, which is amazing.
Yeah. For a guy just last year fell fourth on the depth chart.
Yeah, and I have to say, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Hey, this guy, he was putting moves on guys, and he's such a hard-nosed runner. He was literally running through these guys. And the few fans from Pine Bluff that was there was just like, what can we do with this guy? They was just literally in awe. So to be able to see him could just dominate that defense.
That is my guy. And this is why I say that this is my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I always say it, but I never said why.
Well, I'm going to ask you, why is he your guy?
Because when he was at McKinley, I went to see McKinley versus Catholic High.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed this kid, number one, a running back, because Southern was looking for a running back at that time, and I knew that. And there was another young man who played for Catholic High at the time, who he ended up playing at another school. But I saw this kid running back for McKinley, and I just noticed he was a patient runner, and when he put his foot in the ground, he turned up the field and he got positive yards in almost every play. I was like, I like him. So I went back to a previous coach who was there at the time, and I said, I like this kid. and he wasn't convinced. He was not sold on him at all. And I said, well, you should take a look at him because he reminds me of you, Coach Mitchell. And he said, really? So he looked at him, but he still wasn't sold on him. So we waited around, and they ended up talking to him, and they were interest on both sides, and they gave him a chance to walk on, which I was shocked because I was like, I know somebody's going to come and offer this kid, and he's not going to be able to turn down a full ride. Well, much to my surprise, this young man, he wanted to major in engineering at the time. Southern is a great engineering school. He was sold on the program. His parents or people who were of the community. As a matter of fact, his father's actually been on this show. His father's written a couple of inspirational books and things. And the next thing you knew, my guy was walking on. He redshirted his freshman year, and the next year, out of nowhere, he's carrying the rock as the number 1 back. My guy. That's my guy.
But hey, this weekend, let me tell you, man, this guy ran with a purpose. I mean, just to see the heart and the spirit and the pride that this kid has. I mean, after anytime he touches the ball, he's going to give you 1,010% and a little bit more if he can.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the article in the paper says it best today when they said, the lineman said, he makes us look great, and even when we aren't playing great, he makes us look good. So, I mean, and they believe in him, and he believes in them. And I think most importantly about him is not so much, it is what he does on the field, but it's his ability to lead off the field. It's his ability to set the example. A lot of teams, they say teams are best when your best player is your hardest worker. Well, I think that's the case with Leonard Tillery. If everybody decided that they were going to follow his lead in terms of hard work, commitment, and giving effort on the field, I think we probably would be looking at a couple of more wins this season.
And he showed great athleticism against Georgia. I mean, he carried a guy, Georgia defender, into the end zone. So, I mean, he shows the strength, the power, and the will to want to score. So it's great to have him on the Jags football team as our starting running back, and he's having an awesome career.
That's right, he sure is. So we'll talk a little bit more about that game, and of course, we're going to talk about Alabama A&M as we come up. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to talk a little bit of basketball. So come back, join us. We'll be right back after these messages. Remember, it's the Jaguar Journal.
It's great to have media such as the Jaguar Journal to be able to give positive outlooks on what's going on here with our student athletes at Southern University. Next, we have High School Day. High school students from all around the country came here to Southern University to see if Southern would be their future school of choice. Let's check it out.
Welcome to Southern University High School Day 2015. Future Jaguars in the house today to learn about all sorts of Southern University, from academics, social life, everything we have to offer from the band to our engineer program. We hope that you enjoy your day at Southern University.
Third grade to the tone. This band was designed especially for the heat. If you see this drink anywhere else.
It was great to welcome high school students from all over the country right here to Jaguar Land, and as well as for those students to potentially become future Jags. Next, Southern University had the honor of welcoming the South African ambassador to the United States right here on campus. Let's check it out.
Southern University is honored to have had Ambassador Slangu here representing the Republic of South Africa, particularly at the Nelson Mandela School of Public Policy. I believe this school is one of the only such institutions in America named for the former South African president who came here 15 years ago when we dedicated the School of Public Policy in his name. Today we got an update from Ambassador Slangu that talks about the growth, the prosperity, and what is taking place in South Africa, but also spelling out the challenges that that country still faces. We thought it was important to be able to continue our international relations with universities in South Africa. So for that reason, we hope to expand our involvement with South African universities, and the ambassador can help us accomplish that.
Whomever gets appointed to the ambassadorship in Washington, D.C. is at the pinnacle of their career because of the importance of Washington, D.C. in diplomatic circles. It is the most important diplomatic job that any diplomat can hold. Until Washington, D.C. speaks on matters of global affairs and international affairs, nothing much happens. So you can imagine the importance of the job of ambassadorship to Washington, D.C.
I visited Louisiana starting Tuesday the 17th. I started in New Orleans, but I ended up at the Southern University today. The main visit, particularly here, was to strengthen the relationship that we already have between Louisiana and South Africa. We collaborate in many issues of education, issues of agriculture, issues of health. We think it is very, very important that the two countries should work together and strengthen the relationship on those common issues. But most importantly, we thought it was very important to touch this university because our former president Nelson Mandela once came here and addressed the graduation to the students here, and we know very much that one of his legacy that he left for the South Africans was that of education. Education is very important to the whole nation. An educated nation is a nation that is empowered, a nation that can do everything for itself because they are educated. Therefore, addressing the youth and addressing the students today, we also felt that collaboration between this university and other universities in South Africa will be very much important. It was a fruitful visit. I'm very much happy that the relation will continue.
It was an honor to welcome the South African ambassador to the United States right here to the campus of Southern University. That's going to do it for this week's episode of On the Yard, but before I let you guys go, be sure to follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Until next week, peace.